Have you ever stopped to consider that your height might be whispering secrets about who you really are? Imagine for a moment that every inch of your body isn't just a result of genetics, but a coded map of your soul. As you walk through the streets, interacting with people of different heights, something much deeper is happening than you might realize. Subscribe to the channel and like this video for more stories like this. Your height isn't just a physical measurement. It's a living archetype, an ancient language your unconscious has been speaking for millennia. What if I told you that great minds in psychology have already deciphered this code? That there's a hidden wisdom in the difference between looking down at people or needing to look up to meet their gaze? Get ready, because what you're about to discover will completely transform the way you see yourself and understand your presence in the world. Carl Gustav Jung, one of the most influential psychologists in human history, dedicated his life to understanding that nothing in us is ever just random. For Jung, every aspect of our physical existence carries deep symbolism, connected to what he called the collective unconscious. This giant of analytical psychology discovered that our bodies are living maps of universal archetypes, timeless patterns that shape our personality and destiny. When Jung observed people's height, he didn't just see numbers or centimeters. He saw physical manifestations of ancient psychic energies. His theories on bodily symbolism revolutionized our understanding of how the physical and psychological are intrinsically intertwined. Jung realized that a person's height was like an energetic signature, revealing hidden aspects of personality that even the person themselves didn't fully know. Over the next few minutes, you're going to unlock hidden aspects of your personality that are literally written in your stature. I'll show you how your height reveals deep psychological patterns that influence your relationships, your choices, and even your life's purpose. You'll discover which universal archetype lives through your body, understand why certain situations energize or drain you, and gain deeper clarity about your natural gifts and unconscious challenges. This isn't just curiosity, it's transformative self-knowledge. When you finish watching this video, you'll walk through the world with a new awareness of your unique presence, understanding how your height is a powerful tool for your soul's expression. Get ready for a journey of discovery that connects science, spirituality, and deep psychology into practical revelations for your life. If you're someone who values real depth, who seeks to understand the hidden mysteries of human personality, then you need to subscribe to this channel now. Like this video to show me that this content is resonating with you, and subscribe to become part of a special community of people who aren't content with superficial answers. Here we dive into the deep waters of self-knowledge, exploring territories most don't even dare to question. Your subscription is more than a click. It's an invitation to join thousands of people who are rediscovering who they truly are through ancient wisdom and modern science. Activate the notification bell, because what's coming next will expand your consciousness in ways you can't even imagine possible. Now imagine humanity as an ancient forest, where each person is a unique tree, growing towards the light according to their deepest essence. Jung discovered that our physical height is like the visible manifestation of invisible psychological roots, extending to the deepest layers of the collective unconscious. Think about it. When you observe a forest, each tree has its characteristic height, not by chance, but because its inner genetics determine how it reaches for the sky. Likewise, your stature is the physical expression of archetypes that have lived within you for millennia. Visualize your height as a psychological beacon emitting a specific frequency to the world. Taller people carry the energy of what Jung would call ascending archetypes. They're like majestic oaks that naturally command the horizon, radiating presence and authority. Your height isn't just about centimeters. It's about occupying energetic space, about being seen even before you speak. Imagine a robust oak standing out in the landscape. It doesn't need to try to be noticed. Its very structure communicates solidity, protection, and natural leadership. On the other hand, people of average height function like the trees that form the heart of the forest, flexible, adaptable, connectors. They're like living bridges between different energies, able to move between worlds with extraordinary ease. Think of a tree that gracefully bends with the wind but never breaks. That's the strength of adaptability, natural diplomacy, the ability to read environments and people with surgical precision. And those of shorter stature? They carry the energy of the wise plants of the forest, those that grow close to the ground but develop incredibly deep root systems. Like medicinal herbs that concentrate power in a compact size, these people often possess an energetic intensity that can move mountains. Their smaller height doesn't mean less impact. It means concentrated energy, laser focus, power distilled into pure essence. Let's dive deep into the 3 primordial archetypes that Jung identified through the body language of height. Each carries an ancestral mission, a pattern of energy that has shaped entire civilizations. The Guardian, people over 5.9, 1.75 me. If you're over 5.9, you carry the Guardian archetype. Since the earliest moments of humanity, people of your stature were naturally seen as protectors, leaders, those who stand on the front lines. Jung observed that the Guardian possesses a magnetic presence that attracts both admiration and responsibility. You might recognize this in yourself. People naturally turn to you in crisis situations, expect you to make difficult decisions, assume you have answers even when you don't. The bright side of the Guardian is extraordinary. You possess a natural authority that doesn't need to be earned, it simply exists. Your height creates an energetic field that inspires confidence and respect. In meetings, your opinion carries automatic weight. In relationships, you naturally assume the role of emotional protector. Your physical presence communicates stability and security to others, like a solid mountain amidst unstable terrain. But Jung also identified the shadows of this archetype. The Guardian can develop an emotional armor so strong that they disconnect from their own vulnerability. You might feel the overwhelming weight of constant expectations, the pressure to always be strong when all you want is to be cared for by someone. Many Guardians develop a deep loneliness, as their height creates a psychological barrier that makes others feel intimidated to approach them authentically. The Messenger, people between 5'3", 5'9", 1.75. If your height is in this range, you embody the Messenger archetype. Jung saw people of this stature as humanity's natural connectors, those who can move between different social worlds with extraordinary ease. You're like a human bridge, able to speak the language of very different people and create harmony where others see only conflict. The Messenger possesses a rare gift, the ability to be a social chameleon without losing their authenticity. Your height doesn't intimidate, but it also doesn't go unnoticed. You've probably noticed this. You can talk to both the CEO and the doorman, and both feel comfortable with you. Your stature creates a neutral ground where different personalities can coexist. Perhaps you identify with this natural ease in mediating conflicts, in understanding different perspectives, in being the emotional translator in tense situations. The Messenger often becomes the social heart of groups, the one everyone trusts but who carries the emotional weight of many different people. The shadow of the Messenger is the tendency towards energetic dispersion. By being able to connect with so many different types of people, you can lose your sense of your own identity. Jung observed that messengers often feel as if they're living multiple lives simultaneously, which can lead to a deep existential confusion about who they really are when they're alone. The Alchemist, people below 5.3, 1.6 meets. If you're under 5.3, you carry the most mysterious and powerful archetype, the Alchemist. Jung was fascinated by the energetic intensity that people of shorter stature often demonstrate. It's as if the energy others express through physical height is concentrated into an incandescent inner force. The Alchemist possesses a unique magnetic quality. You attract people not by physical presence, but by the intensity of your vital energy. Your smaller height forces you to develop other forms of impact. Charisma, sharp emotional intelligence, a deep ability to read people and situations. You've probably experienced this. People are genuinely surprised by the strength of your personality when they get to know you better. Jung observed that alchemists frequently become catalysts for transformation in the lives of others. Your stature causes people to lower their defenses, allowing you to access emotional territories that others could never reach. You're like a concentrated beam of insight, and empowerment. The shadow of the alchemist is the constant need to prove your worth in a world that might initially underestimate you. This can create an intensity that sometimes scares others, or a competitiveness that drains your vital energy. Many alchemists develop an armor of constant achievement, feeling they need to be exceptional to be seen. As I describe these archetypes, you're probably recognizing yourself in patterns you've never consciously connected to your height. Perhaps you identify with the heavy responsibility of the guardian, feeling you always need to be strong for others, even when your own soul is asking for care. Or maybe you recognize the messenger's versatility in yourself, that almost magical ability to adapt to different social environments, but also that occasional feeling of not knowing exactly who you are when you're alone. You might be realizing now why certain situations drain your energy while others energize you completely. If you're a guardian, you feel refreshed when you can lead, protect, make important decisions, but you feel exhausted when forced to follow orders from someone whose authority doesn't resonate with you. If you're a messenger, you thrive in diverse social environments, in situations that require diplomacy and adaptability, but you might feel lost in very structured or competitive environments. And if you're an alchemist, you've probably noticed that your energy multiplies when you can transform situations or people, when you can use your intensity to create real change. But you may also have noticed that environments that demand conformity or where you cannot express your unique individuality literally suck your life force. This isn't just abstract theory, it's the map of your personal energy. Jung believed that when we understand our body archetype, we begin to make choices more aligned with our essential nature. You begin to understand why certain relationships work naturally, while others always seem forced. Why some professions make you feel alive, while others make you feel like you're slowly dying. You can recognize this in your own story. Moments when you were totally aligned with your natural archetype and how everything flowed easily, versus moments when you were trying to be someone you weren't, and how that created resistance and unnecessary suffering. Now that you're starting to recognize your body archetype and how it influences every aspect of your life, I want to share something special that can deeply accelerate your journey of self-knowledge. Over the past few years, working with thousands of people who seek to understand their true nature, I've developed a complete method that combines Jung's wisdom with modern archetypal analysis techniques. This method isn't just theory, it's a practical tool that allows you to map not only your height archetype, but how it interacts with other aspects of your personality to create your complete psychological profile. Imagine having access to a system that decodes not only what your height reveals, but how that connects with your body language, your emotional patterns, your unconscious choices in relationships and career. The integral archetype method I created is like having a GPS for your soul. It shows you not only where you are psychologically, but the most direct path to where you want to go. Many people spend years in therapy trying to understand patterns that this method reveals in weeks. It doesn't replace therapeutic work. It provides a clear map that makes any personal growth process infinitely more efficient. Within this method, you'll discover how your height archetype manifests in 5 crucial areas of life: intimate relationships, family dynamics, professional environment, natural leadership, and spiritual purpose. For example, a guardian who doesn't understand their archetypal nature might be wasting their energy trying to be a harmonious follower in environments that demand their natural leadership. An alchemist who doesn't recognize their transformative power might be constantly underestimating themselves, trying to compete in terrains where their true strength isn't even necessary. The method includes practical observation exercises, energy alignment techniques with your archetype, and specific strategies to navigate the unique challenges each type faces. You'll learn to recognize when you're operating from your archetypal light versus when you're being dominated by the shadows of your pattern. But here's the fascinating thing Jung discovered that will completely transform your understanding of yourself. Your height doesn't just determine a fixed archetype. In fact, each person carries within them the ability to access all 3 archetypes depending on the circumstances and the level of personal development they've achieved. Think about it for a moment. Have you ever experienced situations where, regardless of your physical height, you felt like a powerful guardian, taking natural leadership and protecting others? Or moments where you perfectly channeled the messenger's energy, connecting people and ideas in an almost magical way? And what about those instances of pure alchemical intensity, where you transformed a situation or person through the concentrated force of your presence? Jung called this archetypal flexibility, the ability of a mature soul to access different energetic frequencies as the situation demands. Your physical height is like your base archetype, your natural resting frequency, but your developed consciousness can tune into other frequencies when needed. This explains why some people, regardless of height, exert a magnetic presence that transcends their physical characteristics. They've learned to consciously access the different archetypes within themselves. An alchemist who masters this ability can emanate the authority of a guardian when the situation demands leadership, or the diplomacy of a messenger when they need to connect different people. But here comes the truly revolutionary part of this discovery. Jung realized that there's a fourth archetype, rarely accessed by most people: the integrator. This archetype emerges when someone manages to completely harmonize the three primary patterns within themselves. The integrator transcends the limitations of any single archetype, becoming a pure channel for the expression of higher consciousness. People who achieve the integrator archetype develop what Jung called trans-archetypal presence. They might be physically short, but command a respect we normally associate with the tallest guardians. They might be of average stature, but exert a transformative intensity that characterizes the most powerful alchemists. They might be tall, but possess the natural social flexibility of the most skilled messengers. The fascinating thing is that this integration doesn't happen by denying your base archetype, but by completely accepting and mastering it. When you stop fighting your essential nature and start expressing it with total authenticity, you naturally develop access to the other patterns as conscious tools. This means that your journey of self-knowledge through height is just the beginning. It's like learning your archetypal mother tongue, and then becoming fluent in all the dialects of human consciousness. Jung observed that the most influential people in history, regardless of their physical height, were those who had mastered this archetypal integration. We've reached the end of this journey of discovery, but in truth, you're only at the beginning of a much deeper adventure of self-knowledge. What you learned today about the secret language of your height is a golden key that opens doors you didn't even know existed. Think about what has changed in you over the last few minutes. You started this video perhaps considering your height as just a random physical characteristic. Now you understand that every inch of your body carries ancient wisdom, a coded map of your soul that Jung spent decades deciphering. You discovered if you're a natural guardian, carrying the protective energy and magnetic authority of born leaders. Or perhaps you recognize the messenger in yourself, with your extraordinary ability to connect different worlds and create harmony where others see only conflict. Or maybe you identified with the alchemist, that concentrated force of transformation that can move mountains through the pure intensity of presence. But more important than identifying your base archetype is understanding that you're not limited by it. Your physical height is your starting point, not your final destination. It's your psychological mother tongue, but you can learn to speak all the dialects of human consciousness fluently. The true power of this understanding isn't in labeling yourself, but in freeing yourself from the limitations you unconsciously imposed on yourself. How many times have you held back from taking leadership because you thought your height didn't command enough respect? How many times have you forced yourself to be something you weren't because you believed your physical stature determined your possibilities? Jung taught us that everything you need is already within you. Your height isn't a limitation, it's a specialization. It's like being a virtuoso musician on a specific instrument, but that doesn't stop you from learning other instruments when life's music demands it. From now on, when you walk through the world, you'll carry a completely new awareness of your presence. You'll understand why certain situations energize you and others drain you. You'll know when you're operating from your archetypal light versus when you're being dominated by the shadows of your patterns. More importantly, you'll begin to see other people through this lens of understanding. That coworker who always seemed intimidating might simply be a guardian operating from their essential nature. That person you considered indecisive might actually be a messenger, exercising their natural wisdom of considering multiple perspectives before acting. This new awareness will transform your relationships, your career choices, your understanding of your own life's purpose. You're no longer walking in the dark, trying to figure out who you are through trial and error. You now have a map, an inner compass that always points to your most authentic truth. Remember, Jung dedicated his entire life to showing us that nothing in us is accidental. Your height, your gestures, your emotional patterns, all of this is part of a perfectly orchestrated cosmic symphony. Your only responsibility is to learn to play your part in that symphony with mastery and authenticity. The world needs your unique archetypal expression. It needs your specific version of guardian, messenger, or alchemist. There is no other human being who can offer the world exactly what you can offer when you are completely aligned with your essential nature. Your height is just the beginning of the conversation. Now that you know your basic archetypal language, you can begin to write poems of presence, create symphonies of impact, paint masterpieces of authenticity through how you inhabit your body and occupy space in the world. Don't let this knowledge become just another interesting piece of information you carry. Transform it into lived wisdom. Observe yourself in the coming days through this new lens. Experiment with consciously expressing your archetype in different situations. And above all, have compassion for yourself when you recognize that you're operating from the shadows of your patterns. You are not your height. You are an infinite soul who chose to express itself through a specific physical form, to learn specific lessons and offer specific gifts to the world. Your stature is just one of the tools you have available to fulfill your unique mission in this existence. Now go forth and embody this wisdom. The world is waiting to meet the most authentic and integrated version of who you really are. If this content has transformed something in you, don't keep this discovery to yourself. Share this video with people you believe can benefit from this wisdom. Leave a comment telling us which archetype resonates most with you and how this understanding is changing your perception of yourself. Subscribe to the channel and like this video for more stories like this. And subscribe to the channel to continue exploring the most fascinating and transformative territories of human self-knowledge.